Let's talk about your freedom number and what that means as an entrepreneur. What's up, fam? Let's talk about your freedom number, right? As entrepreneurs, a lot of times we have the inability to know where to start. Okay, how big does the vision have to be? How much do I put in terms of effort, right? Like, where do I want to get to? What does that even look like? What kind of picture do I need to grab onto so I can continue on, having that motivation on a day-to-day basis? A lot of this can be, very daunting, can be very heavy. Now, the cool thing is that when you're starting off as an entrepreneur, you don't have to have everything figured out, right? You start with some degree of direction. I've talked about that before in videos, but all you need is a direction. It's a point of reference, right? What does that look like? What does that even mean? Like, what point of reference? I mean, we have a dream of creating a better life for ourselves as entrepreneurs. And as you're going through the process, that dream evolves, that vision evolves, right? And when it comes to entrepreneur mindset, one of the most important things to have a grip on is how far do I want to take my efforts and what exactly am I looking for as a return, right? So that's where your freedom number comes in. What is your freedom number? Your freedom number is that number that you need to hit financially. Financially, we're talking financials, we're talking results, right? We're talking return on investment of your time, of capital, of ideas. So what number do you have to hit on a monthly basis, all right? So think about a baseline to continue on with your lifestyle and then some, right? You want to think about your freedom number in terms of thriving, not just surviving, right? To survive, we can survive on a 9 to 5. That's it. But that's not what we're looking for, right? As entrepreneurs, we're not looking to just, stay on that, wheel of going to work and then getting off work and then doing the same thing over and over again next day and then being on the same spot 2 years down the road. We're not looking for that. So we need to figure out what that number is to us, right? And then that's like the stake on the floor that tells you, okay, cool, this is where my journey began. Once you figure out exactly how much you need on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, right, to sustain your life, you start working towards that in your own terms. And your freedom number is exactly where everything begins, right? That's exactly where you have to start. All right, so do this. This is where it gets pragmatic, okay? Sit down, take a piece of paper and a pen, and start writing down everything that you spend money on. Everything that you spend money on. Start writing down the priorities that matter to you. And if you're not sure about your priorities, what do you prioritize as an individual? Look at your bank account. Whatever you're spending money on, those are your priorities. See if those line up with the path and the life that you wanna have going down the road, right? What I mean by that, if you're spending your money on movies, if you're spending your money on I don't know, brand stuff when you need to save money to buy a house, like, it doesn't exactly line up, right? But your bank account is not gonna lie to you, right? That's kind of like a side conversation, but it is a very, very tangible way of looking at your priorities, okay? Meaning that your bank account is not gonna lie to you. Whatever you're spending money on is the stuff that you're prioritizing in your life, right? So take a look at that, see if it lines up with the direction that you wanna take. At the end of the day, what you're looking for that number, right? How much do you need to live on a monthly basis? Are you spending $5,000 a month in the lifestyle that you have? And do you wanna get to 7, right? And what it's gonna create is this perspective of how much work you need to put into it, right? A lot of times, especially with students, is one of the questions is, how far do I push? I want to go and I want to go and I want to go and I want to go. But there's no gauge. There's no governor on that speed. And what happens inevitably is burnout, right? Now, when you start with a financial number, like, what's your freedom number? You have something to aim at. Okay, when you hit that number, you're gonna be thriving in the space that you're in, and it's gonna be it's gonna be like the next level of your life compared to where you're at right now, right? Once you hit that number. Why? Because you created the number through your efforts as an entrepreneur. If you're doing real estate, if you're wholesaling, if you have a side business and something else, you're creating that space for yourself. But it's important to have something to aim at, and that freedom number, we call it the freedom number, is the number that you need to bring home, that you need to take, put in your pocket, and actually own that money every single month. And when you hit that number, like this sensation of weight inevitability when it comes to being on a 9 to 5 or the economy or all that stuff starts to diminish little by little, and you feel more empowered, right? So it's important to have something to aim at, not just start doing shit for the sake of doing it, right? And working towards, okay, cool, I want to be an entrepreneur. Yeah, but where are you headed? All right, start with a direction. Start with something that you're able to aim at and grow from that space, right? So it's important. It's very important if you're just jumping into entrepreneurship and you're building your business, if you're tapping into real estate, whatever it is that you're doing, to start with a sense of direction, right? One is gonna be, okay, what type of industry am I in? But one that a lot of people omit is, okay, what's my freedom number? What number do I wanna hit? As entrepreneurs, we need to have a way to measure the effort that we're putting in, and your freedom number is a very, very good way of doing it, right? So you hit that number. Once you hit it, that number is gonna grow. It's gonna be something else, right? And as you go through the process, you start finding purpose, you start finding empowerment, you start finding easier ways of doing things. You build a team, and then you start getting your time back and all that stuff. But you have to start somewhere. And if you're looking at something to aim at, your freedom number should be one of the first things. Let me know your thoughts. If that makes sense, please drop a comment below and let's have a conversation, right? This is a two-way street. And do me a favor, I'm putting out content on a weekly basis for you guys. So help me reach more people and spread the message, right? So make sure that you subscribe, like, share, and then send this out to somebody who might benefit from it. Stay focused, you got this.